Hello guys and gals, this is Derek, and in this video I'm going to be going over the Mayan calendar from an economic point of view. And then there's an amazing article I have to talk about, and I'll do that at the end of this video. First off, the Mayan calendar. I look at that as changes within consciousness, not what majority of the people see it. They look at it as a form of doom. I think that's the wrong way to portray the Mayan calendar, because that's only a partial truth towards it. And doom is going to come and doom is going to go. After we get past doom, we go through that of glory. And even when we go through doom, it doesn't mean everybody goes through it. A lot of it is within what you decide you want, and by being in a right positive vibration seems to increase the chances that good things will come back to you. Anyway, as far as the current consciousness, what's happening is we are now entering the halfway point of the Mayan calendar current cycle, the 8th cycle, and that means the consciousness of truth and ethics is going to be overriding the previous one for the consolidation of power. Therefore, the prediction would be that that's going to happen within the economic cycle. You're going to see a lot more things happening that have to do with truth, and a lot more ethical movements coming in. That's as vague as I want to get for this. Now, last year, what I was stating was that I was expecting the dollar to fall between August of 2009 to about Easter of 2010. The reason for that is because at the halfway point and at the start of each consciousness cycle, major events seem to take place. The last time this happened was the start of the cycle. The date for that was roughly around December the 22nd, 1999. Two major events happened at that point. One was the NASDAQ bubble, and that was followed by September 11, 2001. Okay, so what's come to me, at least my understanding, is that if not much happens over the next 6 or 7 months, as far as an extraordinary event or an extraordinary series of events, then I'm going to be giving December the 21st, 2012 a heck of a lot of less precedence for being the correct date. Dr. Kalaman talked about October 28, 2011 to be the date when the Mayan calendar ends. If this is correct, then the halfway point has already came and gone. We should be at the point where ethics is already overriding power, and thus the halfway point would have been around November of 2008, which would have been during the heat of the financial crisis, giving that time frame more precedence. Nonetheless, I'll find out more as the months go on. What I was stating is that the dollar is the most probable thing to happen for this halfway point for it to fall. And that's a non-vague prediction, meaning it could be right, it could be wrong. However, the dollar falling, I don't see to be a wrong thing. If the dollar lives for the next 20, 30, 40 years, then what will happen is the consciousness of truth and ethics will do something with it. And then in 2020, 2030, we will be trading in dollars out of positivity, out of love. And it's going to be great, whatever it happens to be. I think we could keep dollars. Nonetheless, I do expect a lot of major changes to happen within the next 1,000, 2,000 days, because even over the next 1,000 days when we get to the end point of the Mayan calendar, that realistically seems to only be the halfway point of the time frame where the massive changes occur, because when that day comes and goes, we're still going to be making all of these changes, except for at the second half, it'll be more positive than out of negative. So I'm actually going to be grateful for that to be the case. Now, there was an article that talked about 4 things that they hope do not happen. The link for that article will be in the more info, and I want to go through each one. The first one is that the housing tanks all over again. They don't want that to happen. And for what my response to that is I'm going to say the same thing Peter Schiff says. The housing prices were inflated way too much in 2004, 2005, 2006. They got way too high, and this was too much inflation. Therefore, they still need to go down more. And if you are looking to be buying a house, then why do you want them not to tank? You want it to tank. Why do you want to spend what the prices are now or even more? If you see there's a house you like right now that's selling for $220,000, if you can get it for $120,000, isn't that what you want? Yeah. Of course, if you're looking to sell a house right now, of course you don't want it to tank. And if you are living in a house that you bought and you don't plan on moving, you plan on living there the rest of your life or at least for a few decades, then does it really matter? No. So to me, I see that as in what we want is we want inflation and we want prices to go higher. When you think about it, when you look at the supply and demand issue, the supply for empty houses is going higher. The demand is going lower in the sense that the financing is not available and thus people don't have as much money. Prices really can't go up that much because of that math. Next one, and I'm going to be using math in this one too. Stocks crashing. Oh, we don't want that to happen. You know what? You shouldn't care. And I'll tell you what. If you are trading in stocks, you are gambling. You are investing in a casino kind of game that has skill involved within it. Therefore, if you are investing, you want to have stop losses in whichever form, maybe a particular number, maybe it needs to break a particular trend line, maybe it has to retrace a certain percentage on Fibonacci, whatever. You decide how that has to be. Maybe you want to play an options game, and this is something else I've been talking about, where to protect yourself through options, what you do is you look for some long-term puts, look for 2011, 2012, and SPY, the Quad Qs, the DIA, that's the S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow, XLF, FAS, or any stocks that you own. If you own Amazon, you put puts on Amazon. If you own Google, you put Google. If you own Goldman Sachs, you put Goldman Sachs, and so on and so on. What this does on mathematical level is if the stocks crash, you're guaranteed to profit from this event. However, what makes me not like this as much is because it's part of the financial system, it's part of the derivative market, and I just don't like the way they play their game. That's what I don't like about it. But the math on the puts is purely guaranteed. But the part that I don't like is what I said anyway. Third one, and I'm going to use math for this, that we got to hope that there's not going to be a major American debt crisis. And in at least a dozen videos, I've been talking about how debt is guaranteed because the Federal Reserve and central bankers are monopolizing the monetary system of money, and how interest works. It's guaranteed to have debt. Therefore, it's like saying, oh man, I hope the sun doesn't come down tonight. Well, you can hope as much as you want, but it's still going to come down, at least for the majority of the world, for the majority of the time frame. And it's going to happen. Now, the last one is, it's got the best one possible. Consumers become rational. Oh, we got to hope that they do not become rational. They don't want them. I mean, what they want and hoping is that we can't reason. We have a bad judgment of what's going on, and we have poor sense. That's what they want, and they're saying it within this article. Is there anything else I have to say about this? I mean, this is what I hope for the most, is that humans can become rational. That's why I'm making these videos, because the mainstream media is doing everything in their power for us to become irrational. I want to do everything the best that I possibly can so that you can become rational. That's the best. If that's what I get out of this video, man, that's a major, major, major accomplishment. Thank you for watching this video, and have yourself a magnificent day, week, month, and year. Bye-bye, everyone.